Um, yeah. So today I'll be explaining to you the tile menu and the main menu. So first of all, what I would tell you now is we have this. I'm just gonna say that. What this is, it loads. It has how to say it, a JSON file. So this is connected to a JSON file inside the asset shared image folder called GF dance title. So it does the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing here. And this mutes all these volume controls initialized. I have no clue what that does. Sorry. This is something I want you to remember is for games like for source code. Hey, Haxo. The difference between Hax and Lua is they use the command called var, which means set this value, which is the name, to a variable. What type of variable is called this? FLX group, FLX sprite, alphabet. You can choose array. There is a string. You can call it anything. And yeah. So this is different groups you can put. These are title colors. So this is an array with colors. So FX key basically means any numbers. So you got 0 on your keyboard, numpad minus, normal plus. So you can also put like FLX key dot numpad 0. So what this would do is, I believe this is what it's called. On the numpad, you can press 0. Volume would also get changed, but we'll leave that out for now. Right. Back to here. Now, these are arrays, images. I'll explain these plus later since they mostly come in later section of this code. We got your Easter egg types, allowed keys, which are basically every single letter keys, and Easter eggs. This is what I would say is the best, but I think it's best just to remember this because there are some songs where you need a lot of memory, so best to just remember this. I would have loved to know this if I was making that Monica.exe because the festival Broken Reality was a pain without this, and I haven't actually fixed that. I never knew how to do the clear unused memory as a Monica.exe version 2, but now I do. Right. Load preferences, so like the settings, no colors, that stuff. And language. So basically, the FNF Psych Engine holds a lot of different languages. Simple. And this one explain later. This one sets full screen, so leave that. This is for weeks being completed and we'll save it. Mouse falls changes the music for each of these. And this is the state. So whenever you a flashing state, basically that white flash that is always coming to you. Yeah, I guess the white flash is like that whenever you press enter and then there's the flashing when you set the flashing to be true and starting true. Simple enough. Right. This one, exact same thing. Bool meaning true or false. Color swap. Don't worry about that right now. Alright, so this is something I would say focus on. Load JSON data, which is basically what this is all of the things inside of the JSON file. Easter eggs, music. So all these stuff are from that JSON file that I showed you before. So I'll explain to you different parts. So there is this helpful website called, yeah, I will send a link to it, but what this does, it shows you an API and tells you every single thing for this one. So you got collisions, animation, how to set the whites, sail, offset, all these stuff. So this is actually a pretty helpful one if you want to like create the API. I haven't actually read it much, so I would suggest I will give the link in the description. Get rid of that line. I'll add the link in the description so you can easily see where you want to find stuff. So you've got the add-ons, editors, display, backdrop, grid overlay, all these. So if we go into backdrop, it tells you exactly what you do. So, yeah, pretty helpful. Okay. And then we got the idle, all this is. So let me explain. New FLX sprite. There's two ways you can do this, but I will tell you. Let me just go into Notepad real quick. Ignore this, I'll go over this later, but say for this one. So say you got a non-animated layer. So like if you have a static image, no need for multiple frames. This is what you do. So we'll go logo BL equals new FLX sprite X and then Y dot load graphic. Okay. What this is, it loads the graphics instead of just like the load graphics, and then we got font dot image, and then this is the image, and then that's all you do. For animated ones, I would suggest go logo BL, you can new FLX sprite X then Y. And then straight after, you do logo BL dot frames equals path dot yes barrow atlas and then image path. So this is the differences. So for example here, this is like a static image. So all you do is load graphics and that's simple. But for like this one, it gets Sparrow Atlas for a specific thing. It gets all the frames. And yeah. If that's the best thing to remember for this, so now I'll explain how the if statements work in here. It's not exactly similar, but I will try to explain to you the best I can. Alright. So for this one, it doesn't work the same as Lua. What this is called if, and then in brackets they have what kind of value. So you can, if it just says this, client pref.data.shaders. So what this does is because there's nothing in it, it's just this, and it's not assigned to a value, it will always look for if it's true. For this one, it will look if it's false because this means not true. So for example, if this is true, it will do the shaders. If it's not true, this will be like a comment, so nothing happens to it. So it will act as a comment. Right. Yeah. Makes sense. Right. And same thing for this one. These are idols. This is the animation by indices. I will check what this means. But these are mainly from the JSON file. So, yeah. And then this is title. I will explain this as well. Yeah. Private access, it gives you all these prefix, so it's not actually shown. And this is add animation by prefix. So what this is different to what normally, but title animation add by prefix, this allows an idle animation. But this is based on, the press animation is based on the flashing. If it's true, it does the first value, which is enter pressed. If it's false, it does a freeze. And this is the FPS. Same thing here, but this is allows just pressed. I add a hitbox. The other thing is make graphics. What this does is, if we go back into here, I believe, so we got new FLX sprite. Sorry, shoot, I messed it up. Okay. FLX sprite. So if I look for make or graphic. All right. Yeah, found it. So, what this is the make graphic is this is the width and the height. It's always put inside of the middle, and this is the color. There are other values, but you'll see it in the API for Hexapixel. But this gets the scale for the FLXG, FLX height. So whatever the width and height, it's not needed. You just put it in so that whatever you put as the color, it doesn't get mixed in for whatever the width is. So put in 1 and then 1, and then FLX black, and then set the scale. The other way is you can immediately put it in here. This is the alphabet, this is that. Alright, so screen center, simple. It just senses the screen if you put X, you can put Y. You can also put screen center, puts it in both X, Y, or you can do this. So X is for the middle of the X value, so X equals 0. And then for Y, Y equals 0. And then for this, X and Y equals 0 is direct middle. But this is the same. The one you put nothing in it is same as doing X, Y. We'll keep that as X. So graphic size, that's basically the same as scale. Visible, that's simple. It's just sprite dot variable dot visible equals false means invisible, true, visible. These will be more understandable once I show you inside of the stage file. Yeah, so these adds it. So basically every time, same as Lua, you add these to make sure that all these sprites are loaded inside of this main menu. Sorry, the title. And this is initial, I skip intro, I'll skip that part. This is a default value. You don't need a JSON, you can put it in, but yeah. Okay, so I will tell you what this does, but we'll go for this. So Easter egg data, they have some differences to it. So you got, what is it? Is switch. This is actually really helpful in cases. So you can go for the stage file. This is what I will tell you. You really need to learn. Makes it so much easier to work with. Easter egg to uppercase, case, shadow, and then case revert, case the to, and case passively. Alright, so I will show you another way of doing this, but I suggest always do this. Switch and then case. Best thing you can do. Info text. So I showed you this file before in the notepad. Yeah. So all these is what's in the intro text. And then what it does is it merges all the text. It will get the full text, split it based on wherever there is this enter. So you got shout outs to Tom Fulp and then Lid and Dare. That is going to be in a different. All right. And what it does is it puts it inside here. And then it will split it based on this 2 lines here. You can see there's the 2 lines here. And then it will return that. And then transitioning, simple, new title. I will research about these and see if I can tell you how to do it. So source code is a lot. We still have a download to go before this ends. 14 minutes in. So override function update. This is just, these ones should be pretty simple. This is for like mobile type and songs. And this is just for enter. This is different from like enter. If it's mobile, it's just touched. If it's gamepad, you press start or press B. That's how it works. New title, I will tell what that does soon. So this one is like the thing I will try to explain my best to, but it's not the best. I will not explain it though. Easter egg. If all of this, new title, not pressed enter, bar timer, I will not know what this does, honestly. This one is understandable, so what this does is sets a color in an alpha. Simple, you know what color is, it's the color, and alpha is visibility, transparency. If it's not null, it will probably press, so as long as there's a value to it, it will play the animation press as long as it's there. Otherwise, it will just be a static image. FX camera flash. So if it's flashing, the flash will be white. So this is the confusing part. Even though this is like it has a color to it, there's no flashing for this color for some reason. I will not understand why, but yeah, it doesn't do a flashing. And this is I believe the duration. And play sound, transitioning, got like timer, main menu state. So what this is new. It switches states to the main menu whenever you press the what is it? Enter. It will press it. It will change to the main menu. This will mostly be seen in this one. So main menu state, it will mostly be seen here with that switch state. Now this is the exact same one. It's same with some differences, but this one's a long version. Okay. Now we're going on to the next part, which else if just presses FLP none, okay, this one I had no clue. As I said, if I don't know anything, I'll try to research it as much as I can. But if I can't find it out, I'll go to the next section. So like I just opened this, so let's see. So save data, save flush, I'll understand that later. Some of these are really crazy. Bar black. This one's simple, it's just that black graphic, and what this does is it will tween, so the black will start to increase, so the value of the the value of the alpha, it will be changed. So what this does is if its value is 0, it will change to 1 in 1 second, and when it's completed, it will switch to the title menu. But honestly, it's right here. And these ones are some extra stuff. So these ones, don't worry about it too much if it's press the enter and not skip intro and initialize. Skip intro. Simple, this one, don't worry about it. Updates, all apps, I'll understand down later. This, I don't suggest, try not to focus too much on this because I'll show you why. This is called what it is, beat hit, so allows GF and the logo to be animated based on the beat. Right. Okay. So if close state, 6 beats, switch 6 beats, and yeah. This is the thing that I'll explain to you. Create cool text or it will be shown inside. But this is another thing I want to say. You got something called Kurawaki. We had that multiple times before. So basically what it is whatever in here. it will choose a random one of these. So you got if it chooses this is the first text, so the cool text, and then this is the add more text section. Skipped intro, I would still say just remember this switch Easter egg. This is more going to be explained in stage editor still, but still try to remember whatever the switch. This is going to be a really long video. This is like confusing because I'm first going to explain everything in the title menu. I will show you how it works, and yeah. Okay, so this plays a sound, simple, normal, and then transitioning true. This just makes sure it's different for each. So if Easter egg is true, let's see. Oh, sorry. Yep. So play jingles, which I believe is this. Play jingles is something to do with the Easter egg, but Easter egg, and then else edit this one. This is. So I'll just show you some edits. So let's go back into here, and let's try to see empty. Right. So I would suggest just remembering this. Still do line press Windows. And then we will focus only on the main menu. And I'll explain what part of code does what. So this is what the Kerwaki. So as you say game of the year, if we go back into our notepad, let me just open it up. Okay, let's write game of the year. See, okay, so this is what was put in game of the year and then forever. Simple. It's just that. Alright. Now, as you can see, this is the title screen that we're focusing on. So I'll put this to the side. We'll edit some things. If you close this file, what this does is it'll also close the Genshin Funkin app. So I would suggest just keep this on while compiling, otherwise you have to reopen it. So just keep that on. Let's go back here. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. So, for example, I have downloaded these two. So this is going to be the first part we will focus on. So let me copy this. I will go here, assets, shared, images, and we'll put it inside here. So we'll name this title to channel, right? And if we go back into our GF title JSON, we will name this title underscore new channel. As you can see, that's the same name, so we will close this. Oh, sorry. So I must have closed the function. Okay. I'm passing this. Let me just. Okay. So, let's see. All right, it's opening now. Let's put this back on. All right. Okay, so here's a thing that we're also gonna have to pick up. So this is the command prompt. It will also tell you whatever errors there are. So here, as we need to check, let's put this to the side. There's something missing here, which is asset shared images title who.png, which apparently we have got right here. So let's see. If we go back into here, we have to first check out the export. All right, it's gonna check. Yeah, so it's still here. What I'm thinking is it's something to do with yeah. So it's not loading. So if I go here, let's go back here and to the title states and background, right? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so this is a bit confusing. The older versions are more easy to understand with this case. So this is kind of a bit of a confusing part. Right. Okay. Oh, never mind. Let's just do this. They don't have a background. Right. Let's go back here. And these are all the BGs that we have. Okay, so go back here. Title hotel. Which apparently we do have. So I think of what's the problem. This might be the same problem I had before with the title menu. Like for example, if we go to story mode, as you can see, I had a problem. This is one thing I had a problem with. Turns out it had to be a specific size. So if I am right, let me just quickly go back here. Shared images. Let me just show that with you. Nope. Alright, so this is a bit of a problem, but yeah. Okay. So this is the main one we use. So if I delete that and we import our title hotel, it's slightly bigger, which I believe is the problem. So if I go into vector, let's just move this down, Control E, and we resize it. So if I go back here, so slightly smaller. All right, so save as. We go back to here, title hotel. We replace it. True. And if we reload this, I believe that should work. Oops, sorry, wrong place. Oh shoot, I think. Oh no, I closed VS Code. Let's open command prompt. Okay. While we wait for that to reload, I believe this should fix the problem. So this is a more easier way of doing it. Um, I'm probably gonna have to do a lot more testing on this section since this is very different from the older versions. Alright, game's loaded. Yeah. So as you can see, our sprite is now loaded. So what other thing we can do is mainly what we can do is just press with this. So we got let's change that to here and same thing. What this would do is get rid of this. So we got the title and the stuff. So we put the X here and then negative 100. That's another thing we do. Okay, so it turns out there is like a specific resolution you need to turn into an image. I will figure out how to fix that because older versions of Psych Engine does not do that. So it's more easier to work with. Honestly, don't exactly like the newer versions of Psych Engine, but since we have this little code, you can edit it around. So see here, GF is gone because I moved her out of the picture. I will change the scale for this. But yeah, I can change the scale and everything will be seen. Okay, so let's just move this back and we'll ignore the fact that we had that child picture. Alright. So now what we want to do is focus on, so say we don't want GF. What this does is if we go GF title, GF dance, yeah, we get rid of, we don't need to worry about all the GFs, we just have to get rid of this. Get rid of that, no more GF. We don't want GF for this case. Okay, so this is what we think. So we'll get rid of GF position. We'll get rid of this. Now, kind this line. So even though this is like this is a default. This is the default for the GF. What this does is it gets rid of GF for the main menu. Just get rid of the add, it would be removed. Pretty simple for that. So if we go into here, enter, as you can see, GF is now gone. That's one thing I was focusing on. So all you had to do was get rid of the add GF or anything GF related. Alright, and now this is another thing we can do. So for this one, we will change the scale for that logo. Yeah. So to show the scale now, let's try this. Okay. Logo bl.scale.set. And we'll change that to 0.5, 0.5. So what this one now does is it sets the scale for it to be smaller. This is just like a practice, so like don't expect it to be that good. I'm still trying to learn about this new version. It's been so long since I've never used this version for source code, honestly. The closest I've done is version 1.0.0. Okay, so yeah, see, changes to much smaller byte, right? So we will screen. So now this is another thing. Logo BL dot screen center. I will set this to X. Meaning what it will do is it will set it in the direct middle. We'll change this logo position to be, yeah, let's try Y. Let's try logo title. Okay, no, F animation. Understand. Yeah, JSON. Just such a JSON data. Okay. Yeah. So local position, -100. I am going to change that to -50. And then when we go back in here, sorry, we'll go back in here and we'll change this to -50. If you don't remember from the last lesson, the difference between Psych Engine and the difference in this is that the Y value is inverted. So whenever you want to go negative, it goes higher. Positive is lower. So changing from -100 to -50 makes the title JSON go lower, even though it's a higher number. Now, ooh, this is another problem. So the way of putting it in the middle, the camera's not exactly in the middle. So that's the thing we gotta work out. Yeah, the camera's not always in the middle. So like if we were going to a camera, that's weird. Okay, turns out they don't have any cameras. Alright, logo BL. So there's also another thing you can do. So you got logo BL dot x plus equals, and you can change it by 800. What this does is that whatever logo BLX is, so since it's in the center, it will change the offsets. It will change it by 300 to the right. Okay, this is gonna take a while. I don't think I'll get into the main menu. So main menu will be next lesson. So as you can see, it's slightly to this side. So we want in the direct middle, but since direct middle is not actually possible, we'll change it to 200. We'll change that to 200. Should work. Perfect. All right. And then, as the last part of the, I don't think it's the last part. I'll probably explain some other things, but the next part is going to be this new thing from whatever. If you want to scroll in background, it's hard to do in Lua, but way more easier to do in source code or Hackscript or in HScript. HScript auto source is like way very similar to source code. I don't think it will work. So it's like, yeah. So this is done. Select in the middle. Now we want to change this. We want to go back into GF and we want to make a background script. All right, very good. So I will close this. All right, here we go. See, you can see all of them. And the logo's still bumping. Um, so everything's still working. So, um, yeah. So that's all. That's the then I'm gonna show you one last part, which oh shit, I keep on closing that. As you know, background sprite, it does not have any right. Okay, I'm gonna edit this, but for FLX sprite, this is different. How do I explain this? So this is a new thing I'm going to show you. The FLX sprite for the background is always going to be a static image. You can't put it as an animated yet unless you edit it by source code. So what I can do is also convert it into a backdrop. And if you don't know what a backdrop is, I will show you by this code. So what this is this is from one of my old mods. I use the FLX backdrop for whatever, where is it? Yeah, this. So I'm going to focus on this. So this we'll put in here. Right? So let's go back here and we'll change that to BG. And we'll change that to -20 and -10. So now this is one thing I'm going to say. So if we put in line test windows, here, see, as it says type not found FLX backdrop, that's because you need to import FLX backdrop. So if we go here, import flexo dot alot dot display dot FLX backdrop. This is the exact command that you have to put in for it. And once we go back in here, line test windows. See, now it's working. It's because you need to, the FLX backdrop is not in the original files. So you have to import it from the Flexel that you downloaded. And as you can see, it's the same image repeated over and over again and just scrolling up and to the negative side. That's all that this is. I would only use it for like very small, you want a scrolling background, like for the DDLC. You got that scrolling background in the main menu. You could use it for that. You can use it for any, if you have like a character running along a surface, you can use the FLX backdrop to make it seem like they're running, even though they're staying still, according to how you're looking at it. So, yeah. So that's FLX backdrop. This is the one I would say is like one of the best things. So if you, I think this is like really cool. So, but since we don't need an FLX backdrop for our video, I will convert it back to normal. Yeah. So here, let's go. Oh shoot! I keep on closing that. Okay. Line test negative. All right. So yeah, back to normal, static image. I will explain everything else. I will probably try to make my own assets for this, see how it goes. But if I don't, we'll be using this as a actual. I won't release this because this is just like, hey, this is just a source code practice. Why don't you just try to learn from it? Unless you want me to. So I will focus on title menu again for the next video because title menu is like really long. All the source codes are going to be really long. They're going to be in parts. I would say try to revise all this, like read through all this, have your bitmap. If you need any questions, you can ask me in the comments and I will try to answer you. Also, the description, I will also let's see. Right. Yeah, that's all I will say. Um, so this today was just focusing on a bit of how the everything inside the title state that I know that I can explain to you, even though it might not be a good explanation. And some little practices, such as getting the GF title JSON, putting Qt in the background, any background, changing the logo, changing any of these. Yeah. So it might be a while before the next video because there's some things I have to deal with for this week since I'm gonna have to be packing some things. So if there's not much videos for next week, I'm sorry, that's the reason. I will try to upload videos, but it's less likely to happen. So this is a thing I'm going to first. Let's see what version this is. Sorry. Yeah. So this code is for version 1.0. So I will try to teach how to do it in version 1.0.4. I will probably just try to help understand how to do all this. So as I said, what I will do is in the description, I will put in the FLX Haxiflixel API and the mod, this one. It's a pretty good learning. It's somewhat different. You can tweak some things to make it seem similar. So whatever is 1.04, you can use this copy. It will do the exact same thing. You can. It just edits it for changing 1.04 parts into 1.0 so that it's easier to work with. You can do that because source code, it doesn't change. It's like very similar from the older versions. It's just you have some little tweaks from the old dependencies because some of the dependencies might add new ones or remove old ones. Okay, so I'll put the descriptions for this mod in the description. I'll put the link for this mod in the description, API in the description, and yeah, that is all I'll give. Thanks for watching, and yeah, if you have any questions, just ask me in the comments, or just read the comments. All right, bye.